Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. This is your January love and romance reading. Now, let's not get caught up in the romance part, okay? Because, and I know we've just come out of cuffing season, and then there was like snow globing. Have you heard that term? If you have not heard that, let me know in the comments and I will explain it because that was a new one for me this year. But then we're also going into Valentine's season. So I know this is like a time of year when we're really focused on romantic love, but I want us to also remember that there's other kinds of love. There's family love, there's friendship love, there's love we have for our children, love we have for our pets, you know, all those sorts of things. Love we have for all the handsome celebrities, Rip Wheeler. But we have a variety of love. So I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I already have a husband, you know, and I'm like, well, yeah, but do you love yourself? Do you love your children? Do you love your family? Do you love your pets? Do you love your friends? Like, what are we doing? So we're going to tap into sort of all that energy. So when we're listening to this today, don't take it just as romance. You know, like I get it. Like if people start talking about romance with me, I'm like, okay, well, maybe my husband might have a little something to say. But there's all kinds of different love, including self-love and loving yourself. So we've got 3 cards here. We have the gold coin, we have the blue lapis heart, and which, funny enough, actually was the very first gift my husband gave me. It was a little blue lapis heart. We'd only known each other a couple of weeks, and he gave me that. And my little spell jar, abundance. It's an abundance spell jar. So abundance of love in all ways, in all of the ways that we want and desire, abundance of love. So take this moment now to choose the card you would like. Pause if you need to, and you can choose all of them. It's okay. I won't tell. Okay, so card number 1. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, this is obviously a new deck. We're working with a Winnie the Pooh deck today. And this is a super, super cute deck. And yes, I did try to link it for you, but it is apparently currently sold out, so I couldn't. But I did link another deck that is gorgeous, and we will be using it this year. So if you want to grab that deck now, you can play along with me, because obviously as we do these readings, there's an educational element as well. So you can play along. And so we have here the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and this is an improvement. So our pentacles are our earthly life. They're our home life, our family, our abundance, our physical life, our bank accounts, our wealth, all of it, right? Our stuff, our physical stuff, tangible stuff we can touch. And so this is letting us know that there's some really good improvements that may be coming with some changes. So when you see those changes, just know that this is for the better, and it will be strengthening things, whether it's in your friendships, in your relationship with your children, with the relationship with your partner, parents, whoever else. There are some changes coming. Obviously, we would immediately say, oh, financial changes, but you know, this could be something as simple as rearranging your bedroom using feng shui to improve matters and your intimacy and your coziness with your partner there, right? So it could be something as simple as that. Could be, you know, redecorating. You know, maybe you've lived a life with kids and now they're kind of grown, and you like, we need to have a grown-up house here. So that kind of thing. You could be making changes that will, in the process of making those changes together, strengthen your relationship. Unless it's wallpaper, hire a professional. Yeah, I remember growing up. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, obviously, and wallpaper was all the rage. Everybody had wallpaper because we had sort of that mid-century thing was painting. And so when you go visit places like historical places, they're all painted. It's really quite interesting that they're painted, but shades of, you know, light blue and mint green and things like that. And so then when wallpaper came out and people could really express their creativity, became all the rage. Except that if you have ever tried to wallpaper a room with another person, and the two of you really aren't on the same page in terms of how wallpapering is done, I always called the first corner the divorce corner, because that's going to make or break. So redecorate, but hire a professional to hang your wallpaper for you. And I've seen the fights erupt at that first corner. And my father used to be like a handyman in his spare time, and he would paint. There was somebody that my parents knew who owned rental properties. So every time a tenant left, she would hire him to come and paint, wallpaper, clean, do all the things, and reset the house for new tenants. And so I've been there. I have witnessed the divorce corner multiple times. So let me just say, unless you're on the same page with wallpaper, just hire a professional. Save your marriage. Save your marriage. This also applies with your friendships. What's coming in is maybe like a little road trip with a friend that will really strengthen your relationship. Go to a different place. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to like pack the whole car and snacks in the cooler and try to find somewhere to go for, you know, a weekend or a week or whatever. You could do a little day trip, like take a day off and go do a day trip to another town, somewhere else, just to have a different adventure and bond over some new things. Because when people break up or when someone dies, what also dies with them is, and what also ends with, well, not necessarily ends, but goes away with a breakup, is that person with the shared memories. And that's really bonding, because when you have an experience with someone and only the two of you have had that experience, that's very bonding. And it could just be, you know, as simple as, well, I'll give you a great example. There's somebody that I am no longer friends with, haven't been friends with for a very long time. But when we were in our 20s, we were in her car. She had a flat tire right on the highway, like on the 401. If you're in Ontario, you'll know what the 401 is. And so it took us ages. Nobody stopped to help, which was really wild. But between the two of us and a pack of cigarettes, we managed to get that tire changed and put the little donut on, and we got the car taken to the shop. It took forever, like a couple of hours, because the bolt thingies were so tight that we had like the crowbar, and I would stand on it and jump up and down while hanging on to the car to try to, but so that was the thing. It was exhausting, and we'd get one of the bolts off, and then we'd sit down on the, we're literally on the side of the 401 with cars whipping by, and we'd sit down, have a cigarette, and then this is back when I smoked, and then do it again. Very bonding experience. But even though we're no longer friends, we haven't spoken in, I don't know, 20 years, I still think about her from that memory. That is what comes up when I think about her. That's what popped in my head when I was talking about you go through something together, it really bonds you. So I still think about her and in that moment, and I'm still so proud of what we did that day, that we, no man had to come along and save us. And even a female tow truck driver didn't even come along to save us. We managed to do it ourselves, and we still managed to get back home in time to get ready to go out clubbing that night. So thank goodness I also had a car, so we were able to do that. But this is what I'm saying, is go on a trip, do something, have an adventure and experience something with a friend that will deepen your bond, because that will be a memory, that will be something that only the two of you share together. Okay, so there's your first card. That was a lot for one card. There we go. Card number 2, if you chose the lapis heart, we have the 8 of Swords. And the timing for this card is April 21st to 30th. So this might not necessarily be something that the adventure you go on or whatever it is that you do, but this may be the time that you start laying the groundwork and you start making the plans. You propose the idea, start making the plans, do the research, and then maybe if you live where I live in Canada, it's like, this isn't the best time of year for getting away, like unless you want to go to the airport. But maybe when the nicer weather comes, but use this time now to plan and get excited about it and talk about it. Now you got something else to talk about. And so now we have the 8 of Swords. This is in reverse, and this is all about escaping. This is about freedom. This is about no longer feeling trapped or blocked or that there's obstacles in the way. So I'm looking at this in two ways, and Spirit is like giving me a whole jumbled little message. So first of all, this could be two people who've been trying to have a relationship of some kind, friendship, romantic, family, whatever, and now the obstacles are out of the way. The flip side of this is you're breaking free from a relationship. So there's sort of two scenarios here, quite similar, but the end result being quite different. So what it feels like is that for some of you, the path has now been cleared to move forward with something. It's my guides are being like, this is romantic. This is romantic. Somebody has done the things that they needed to do in order to open up their life to a romantic relationship. So they've removed the blocks and obstacles, and you can figure out what I'm talking about. You can somebody's what's really coming in strong is that there's two people who want to be together but couldn't be together because somebody was still kind of attached to somebody else. Maybe a divorce wasn't complete, or they want to get married but have to wait for the divorce to be complete, which is something I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't get. As a minister, I have had couples who their wedding actually got postponed because somebody's divorce paperwork, the courts hadn't issued it yet and they couldn't get a marriage license. I really don't know why people start a new relationship to the extent of getting engaged and planning a wedding and all that, like the wedding's planned, the venue's booked, everything else, but they're not divorced. I don't get it. Maybe someone can explain that to me. Like, I get it that it's like sometimes you split up and then years later you're like, yeah, we just never got around to getting divorced. But at the same time, don't go whole hog into the next thing till the first thing is actually wrapped up and you can legally move forward. So that's sort of the sense of what's coming in, is that somebody had to end a part of their life in order to move forward with you, or you had to end part of your life in order to move forward with the person you actually do want to be with. And then, of course, the other part of it is that whatever issues there have been in a relationship, a friendship, a parent-child relationship, a romance, something like that, those obstacles they're melting away. They're leaving. They're going away. And you'll start to see changes soon. You'll start to see the improvements over the months, because like these things just don't happen on day one. It's like people start to ease into their new beliefs, their new thoughts, their new way of life. So this is probably over in the next 3 months, you'll look back and you'll go, oh yeah, I could really see how everything changed and things opened up. So there we have it there. And now we have our third card. Let's see what it is. All the cards are in reverse today. Isn't that interesting? I did a really, really good shuffle before we started, and then I laid them out. I hadn't even looked at them because I like to be just as surprised as you are. And we have the Six of Cups here. This is always going to be very much about children and nostalgia. But let's see what we've got. The dates here. Oh, it's well into the fall. So this is about in order for you to move forward in the loving relationships, family, friendships, partners, romance, you have to let go of the past. It's really coming in strong that this is a romantic relationship and somebody is still yip-yapping about a past partner. And so things can't move forward while we haven't healed from the past relationship, or we're just on that cycle of a loop. If that's you, get in touch with me. We'll set you up with a cord cutting or a tiny little bit of forgiveness work to release yourself from all of that. And no, forgiveness is, yes, it is the other F word, but it's not telling the other person what they did is okay. It's just energetically disconnecting yourself. So you're not constantly in a loop with that person spiritually, energetically. And guess what, sweetie pie? They don't even know. They're not even thinking about you, right? So we don't want to stay in that. And we can't move forward with anybody else until we clear up our past. Does that make sense? I hope that lands, because it's about the past. Once you do that, then you can focus on the future, and you will go into the future with so much more maturity. If you deal with your shiz from the past, you actually have much more mature, successful relationships in the future. So that's a big one there. There's a sense of independence, and I feel like that independence is coming from breaking free from the past. And don't hold someone's past stuff against them. We're all allowed to grow and change and evolve. If we don't, then we're those people who say, I'm good enough the way I am, right? Like, those people are not. They are not. Usually those people are crying all the time and in a lot of therapy and are having meltdowns in public. Okay, so it's okay to say, today I am enough. But that cannot also mean we never evolve, grow, learn, expand, change our minds, change our opinions. It's okay to receive new information and change your mind about something, right? Example, you think your man is wonderful, you think he's the greatest guy on earth, and somebody shows you evidence that he's cheating on you. Are you going to change your mind about him? Yeah. Well, I would hope so. I would hope so. You may not end the relationship, but you may change your mind. You may change how you feel. That may change things, right? So we're allowed to receive new information and change the way we think and feel about things. So it's okay to somebody might have been something in their past, and that that's not sort of a likable, desirable thing, but they've changed and they've grown and they've learned. There's all kinds of people. People change their minds about things all the time. As we mature, we change our views on things. Like, the way I see the world in my 50s is very different than the way I saw the world when I was in my 20s. Absolutely. And we're allowed to do that. And if you hold people to the thing they originally said, and you never allow them to grow, your relationship won't grow either. And you'll never get anywhere in life. So this is about letting go of the past. Like don't hold people's past against them. That's why I don't really tell people very much about my past, because I'm like, that's how you're gonna judge me, rather than what we see here. You're gonna judge me from, something that happened when I was 10 years old. Like, that's not fair. I was 10. I wasn't in a great situation. So, that's the thing, is we all have to remember that we're all doing the very best we can at any given moment. And I know that when we look at somebody and we think they're not doing the best they can, it's because we believe that we ourselves would do better in their situation. We believe that. We probably would not. I can assure you of that. So this is the time to let go of judgment. This is the time to stop holding things against people. This is, there's always that saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. Not always. Sometimes people cheat once, they learn a big, massive, valuable lesson, and they never cheat again, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's sometimes we have to make big mistakes and make stupid, harmful decisions in order for us to grow and be better people, because we don't know who we're going to be in any given situation. So there you have it. There is your love and romance reading for January. I'm going to tell you, this is a month of tough love. Go back to my videos. You'll see I apologized profusely in my last video. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I'm not trying to be mean. This is how it is. And I'm never going to hold back. I'm never going to sugarcoat it for you. I'll always be there to support you. I will always be there with a loving shoulder and a loving ear, but I'm never going to sugarcoat it, and I'm never going to hold back with you. And my clients who get one-on-one readings and sessions with me, they'll tell you that. They'll say, nope, she handed it to me and it's what I needed to hear. So, but usually what happens by the end of those sessions with my clients is they say, I feel so empowered now. So yeah, when you get the truth and you've got some actionable things, that's very empowering. So if you're interested in a session with me, whether it's a reading, my readings do start at $44. And I do have a whole bunch of January specials on right now. I'm going to get them popped on my website. And then I'll update them each month of 2025. I'm going to have new specials, new offers, new readings, all kinds of things, so that you'll have lots of things to choose from and it will change up every month. In the description of this video are all of my links to my website, everything else, my socials, everything. There's also a freebie there for you, so you can grab it. It's a freebie printable. In this exact moment, I can't remember what it is, but I think it's a dream tracker. And each month I'm going to add new freebies. Next month I do have another, I've got ebooks, I've got all kinds of things. So those are going to be some freebies coming up for you. And then there is one there right now. The tip jar is there. I so appreciate every dime, every penny people put in my tip jar. I so appreciate it. And then what I do, all that money gets turned into more stuff for the table so that we get to have more different cards, different tools. Like we have our tokens here for doing investigation readings, things like that. So check out the links, and don't forget to, if you want to reach me, just go to my website, which is fifthandgrace.com. The link is in the description. There's forms on just about every page, so you can easily reach out to me there or find me on my socials or leave a comment here and I'll chat with you. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and let me know you were here. Let me know what card you chose. That's a good one. And keep an eye out for my Patreon. I'm getting it filled up this month so that as soon as I open it up to the public, there will already be lots of goodies in there for you. So you're not going to have to wait for me to start filling it. I'm going to have, like, I think 10 things in there is my goal. Some different spreads. If you're into reading tarot, that I'll be putting spreads in there. I'll be putting, you know, sort of essays on different metaphysical and spiritual things. I'm working on figuring out how we can do live tarot readings for members of the Patreon, so that those would be free for members of the Patreon, all kinds of things. So there you have it. There's lots of stuff coming up, big plans for 2025. And don't forget to go back through my videos, do the friendship spell, do the money spell, do it all, do it all. And I've got more fireside chats coming. I actually have January's in the works. February's I just wrote and we'll be getting set up. So look, stick around. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff. But don't forget to leave a comment and let me know you were here. Have a magical day.